History is full of wars that changed the world, but some of the most brutal conflicts were quietly erased from our memory. This is the story of a war so violent, so shocking, that even historians struggle to describe its true horror. Millions were pulled into chaos, cities were reduced to ashes, and soldiers faced death in ways that still haunt humanity today. This war was not just fought with weapons. It was fought with fear, hunger, and unimaginable suffering. Yet somehow, most people have never been taught about it. Tonight, we uncover one of history's most brutal forgotten wars. The roots of this conflict began long before the first shot was fired. Political arrogance, broken treaties, and deep ethnic hatred slowly poisoned entire nations. Leaders promised glory and victory, but what they delivered was endless bloodshed. Ordinary people, farmers, workers, and children, were dragged into a nightmare they never chose. As tensions exploded, armies marched forward believing the war would end quickly. They were terribly wrong. What followed would shock the world and expose the darkest side of human ambition. The battlefield became a living hell. Soldiers fought not only the enemy, but freezing winters, burning summers, disease, and starvation. Entire regiments vanished overnight. Some battles lasted days without rest, leaving the ground soaked in blood. Weapons were crude, medical care was almost non-existent, and prisoners were often executed without mercy. Civilians suffered even more. Villages were destroyed, families wiped out, and survivors left with nothing but trauma. This war redefined cruelty in combat. What makes this war even more disturbing are the facts rarely discussed. In some regions, more people died from hunger than from bullets. Soldiers were forced to fight without shoes, proper weapons, or food. Some commanders sent thousands to die just to test enemy strength. There are recorded cases where silence on the battlefield was broken only by the cries of the wounded left behind. These are not exaggerations. These are documented realities that history books often skip. When the war finally ended, no one truly won. Borders changed, empires weakened, and entire generations were lost. The psychological scars remained long after the fighting stopped. Survivors carried guilt, nightmares, and grief for the rest of their lives. The world promised to learn from this tragedy, yet similar mistakes were repeated again and again. This war quietly shaped modern military strategy, political alliances, and international law, even though few remember its name. This forgotten war reminds us that history is not just about dates and victories. It is about human suffering. It teaches us how dangerous pride, hatred, and unchecked power can be. Remembering these stories is not about glorifying violence, but about understanding its cost. Because when history is forgotten, it has a terrifying habit of repeating itself. And some wars deserve to be remembered not for glory, but as a warning to humanity.